Nice.
Yeah, that's called moving the market. Yeah.
Yeah, because you picked the underdog a lot, right?
Well, I pick underdogs, favorites. I bet it all.
Yeah.
But now you could use this to your own advantage. So what I can do is I can fake the market is what it's called.
Oh.
So what I can do is I can go use my Circa account, bet it, have them move the market for me, and then get a better line and bet the opposite side everywhere else.
Wow.
So
you're out here playing chess.
Oh, 100%. That's what sports is. So it's a beautiful thing.
All right, guys. The #1 sports bettor in the world is here. Sean Perry. Thanks for coming, man.
Thank you for having me, my buddy.
Yeah, you've taken your poker skills over to sports betting now.
Absolutely. Well, I've been gambling for a long time, so it's nothing new for me.
Yeah.
Been in this gambling space for a long time, ever since I was a kid.
It's cool to see, though, because you rarely see someone being able to dominate both poker and sports betting.
Yeah, 100%. I guess the reason why I went to sports is because I got invited and surrounded myself in private poker games. And like if anyone's watched the movie Molly's Game, I basically play in that kind of game, but in the real life version of it a bunch. And through that, was able to get down through a lot of billionaires and stuff in sports. And so became friends with all the sharpest bettors in the world, and then found a way to be able to get down a lot of money and moved into the sports world from
Nice.
poker. Yeah.
Because there's some people that think there's no advantage in sports betting, but you're clearly proving there is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's all who you
My
know,
results speak for itself. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. How big were the stakes at these poker games?
The poker games, well, I've played in some games where I've been on some super yachts with some billionaires and lost like $6 million over the course of a few days.
Jesus.
I've obviously won a lot as well, more than I've lost. But yeah, I've played in some very nosebleed stakes poker games for sure.
You ever play against Dan Bilzerian?
So I've played with him on online apps. I've never played with him in person. It's actually a funny story. I've been around him a bunch. But yeah, he necessarily honestly doesn't really play much poker, to be honest.
Oh,
much
really?
anymore. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I mean, he sometimes played Aria, but he plays like a smaller game, like for fun, I guess. But he did play back in the day when I was under 21.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I've played with him online a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's some of the best people you played against poker-wise?
Well, I've kind of played against them all, to be honest. So in the past, in the year 2021, I was a third-ranked poker player in the world.
Wow.
They have this thing called Poker Go Tour, which is binds of 10,000 or greater, so 10K up to $1 million. And there's over 100 tournaments across the world of these stakes of buy-ins, and they have a ranking system. And I finished third in the world in that ranking system. I won I have over 7 million winnings in poker at a young age.
And that's just public winnings.
Yeah, that's just public winnings. Nothing to do with the private cash games. That's just the tournaments.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've played against like all the greats. So I mean, the big names are like Phil Ivey and Daniel Negreanu, and you have people now like David Peters and like just you name it. Basically, I've played against every single person.
That's legendary. Were you able to ever get a read on Ivy? Because he's just stone cold.
Yeah, he definitely is a stone cold killer. But I'm able to get a read on basically anyone you play against. So,
really?
Yeah, but at the same time, is like truth is that Ivy doesn't even play much poker anymore. He's on to other things. But yeah, I've played with him in like this Trident cash game series or tournaments, and so like overseas, I'd played with him, and yeah, but poker is a lot of fun. I've loved it. I grew up. My bar mitzvah was poker themed.
Oh, that's dope.
So my dad was a professional poker player. He played in all the biggest cash games in the world. That's kind of how I got in the gambling scene. I grew up wanting to be like him. I remember when I was young, like when kids used to go out to parties and stuff like that, I used to go rail my dad, the WSOP events, like put on a hoodie and watch him play poker all the time.
Oh, that's cool.
Begging to the day I turned 21.
You gonna make a World Series main event run anytime soon?
I don't really play many of the WSOP tournaments, to be honest. I'm kind of fully in the sports world now.
Okay. Yeah, the money's way better, right?
Yeah, so like the thing is in poker, it's kind of capped. So like, for instance, I've had like $7 million in tournament winnings, where in sports, I'm like making 8+ figures a year betting. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. And there's no cap because there's billions flowing into sports
Well,
betting.
100%. Yeah. Especially sports keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's like, I mean, you see it everywhere. You see like all these promoters, influencers promoting all the sports casinos, which is like super good for me. It gives me more places to bet and stuff. But the thing is like the sports world's really tough because when you bet and you're a winner, like most people don't know about, they cut you off or they limit you. And so I have a perfect example of this story. Circa Sportsbook here in Vegas is known to take the biggest limits of any sportsbook in town. And so what I did was I went there and I told them, hey, I'm a big whale in the casinos, meaning like I'm a degenerate gambler. I lose a bunch of money. I show them the highest level players cards at all the casinos, which by the way is a hustle for me. What I do is I go to the casinos, I'll gamble mass in the pits, and then I'll go to the sportsbook in order to get big action. right? So if you're just walking off the street, they might let you bet only 20K or 50K. But if you go in, you play in the pits a little and max bet baccarat or blackjack or whatever, you could come in, you could talk to the supervisor sportsbook and bet a couple $100,000 a game.
Oh, wow.
Or things like that. So basically I went to Circa with $500,000 in cash and I go, hey, I'm a massive gambler. Set me up an account, right? I want big limits. So Jeffrey Benson personally put me in a group chat, who's the head of the sportsbook over there. And I was getting like $100,000, $200,000 limits in a game. And within the first week there, I ended up winning over $500,000 before my limits were reduced. But the first day I signed up, what's kind of interesting about that sportsbook there is they told me to enter their competition. They had a survivor contest, which is a $1,000 buy-in and winner take all. And what you got to do is you basically pick a team each week in the NFL. And if your team wins that week, you move on to the next week. But the condition is you can only use each team one time. And so what happened is there was 9,300 people that entered, and we're down to about 13 people left. And I'm not even paying much attention to this tournament at this point because the truth is that I'm gambling 7 figures a game in sports anyway. So it's like at this point, each team's worth about like 770K or something like that. And someone comes to me and my friends goes, hey, they're looking for Golden Boy. Golden Boy's only one left out to chop, and Golden Boy was me. And they're talking about on Twitter. At the time, I didn't really have a Twitter. I never tweeted. I wasn't on social media. And so I get to the social media and I go, hey, I'm a Golden Boy, and I actually am the best bettor in the world. I'm definitely not chopping. Like, this is what I do for a living, but I wish everyone luck, and I hope to see you guys at the finish line. So then basically it went viral, and a lot of people were talking about it because they're like, how does some guy have 1,000 and not want to chop, and he could just take 770,000 home right now?
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, dude, like I have an edge here. My team is better than your guys' teams. I have confidence in my abilities, and I'm going for the 9.3 million. Unfortunately, I ended up not winning. I got eliminated when there was 5 people left.
So you lost money?
Well, I lost 1,000 in that competition, basically. But there was another competition that they had, which was a 1K buy-in. It's called not the Survivor, but it's called a what was the name of the competition? Basically, I'll tell you the concept. I'm blanking on the name right now, but the concept is you pick 5 teams each week against the spread.
Okay.
And at the end of the whole entire season, you have a ranking system. And so out of over 6,000 people there, I came in 9th place picking against the spread each week. And I turned my 1,000 there into 75K.
And what sport was that in?
In football.
Oh, football.
Yeah. So basically, I showed up with Circa 500,000. I doubled that money. They limited me. And I also won 75K in their competition off 1K.
Wow.
So yeah, it was not a bad football season there at Circa. But yeah, that's the annoying thing about like sports is like you'll go somewhere and you'll be a winner, and it's just like what they'll do is if they figure out that you're a winning bettor, they're going to limit you. And you can't bet there because, like, for instance, with Circa, I'm allowed to bet, but my limits are low. And then once I bet, they know I'm sharp. So they're going to move their lines against me. And now what happens is all the other sports books follow. And then it means that I can't actually go bet anywhere else.
Wow. That's crazy. So they'll adjust the whole line just because of you betting.
Exactly. 100%.
That is nuts.
Yeah, that's called moving the market. Yeah.
Yeah, because you picked the underdog a lot, right?
Well, I pick underdogs, favorites. I bet it all. Yeah. But now you could use this to your own advantage. So what I can do is I can fake the market is what it's called. Oh. So what I can do is I can go use my Circa account, bet it, have them move the market for me, and then get a better line and bet the opposite side everywhere else.
Wow.
So
you're out here playing chess.
Oh, 100%. That's what sports is. So it's a beautiful thing.
That's cool. Are you banned from any other casinos?
Yeah, I'm definitely every casino I've ever been gambling at, restricted in the sports book. So like I'm basically only go to the big sports books. So Aria's big in town, Resorts World. I mean, you have all these online books, and
you do the crypto ones. They probably don't limit as much, right?
Every single one does.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, 100%. Like it's like basically, for instance, you go to the casino and you beat them in blackjack, and you're a winning blackjack player. They're going to tell you, hey, you got to start flat betting, and then after that, they're going to say, hey, you're no longer allowed to play blackjack here if you're still beating them while flat betting. But yeah, so like there's 4 things that you can beat a casino in, and all 4 only. And I'll go through those right now. So one of them is poker. And the reason why is the casino doesn't care who wins. They just take a rake out of each pot. The second thing is sports, as we just discussed. The third thing is blackjack. And the fourth thing is progressive slot machines, which is interesting, right? So people think those are real degen and stuff. But what a progressive slot machine is when you're basically playing, you're just pushing a button. There's no skill involved whatsoever. And every dollar that gets put into the machine, some of the money gets added to the progressive jackpot. So the jackpot could start at 100,000. And then say, for instance, it gets like 650K. That machine now becomes profitable with each click. So yeah, you'll never get banned. There's actually teams of people and stuff out here that are professional slot players. Like my dad is. We've done it before and stuff. We've gone to casinos and played these progressive slot machines and try to chase after big jackpots and things like that.
I've heard about it. I hear people full time. They just walk the strip. They look for a certain thing on the slot machine.
100%.
If it matches their criteria, they'll just put $20 in.
And you start making, Well, I mean, I don't know about $20. You need to have a bankroll.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, 100%. Especially on these progressives. Those people that are walking around saying, "Oh, this machine's about to hit," like that's complete nonsense. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
100%. So like the mechanism behind a machine is basically you have to envision it as there's just a ball behind, and it's spinning in a circle. And whenever you hit the button, the laser is going to hit that number on the ball. So now there may be 1 in 100,000 to hit that jackpot. So you don't know when it's going to come because that ball behind the machine keeps on spinning in a circle. And then whenever you press the button, it has to hit that. The laser will basically hit that, and then it'll input, and it'll show what landed on that ball.
Got it.
And that comes. So people are like, "Oh, this machine's about to hit." It's just complete nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah, you see people like that all the time.
100%. Another phony. There's a lot of phonies out there in the gambling world, obviously.
So you've actually met people that make money with blackjack, though?
Oh, of course. I could go right now and beat any casino blackjack. So what's funny is I dropped out of school to gamble when I was in college, and I was 19 years old with my first week of dropping out. I went to Florida because you only had to be 19 plus to play over there at the Seminole Hard Rock. I made $1 million my first week out of school.
Blackjack?
Playing poker.
Oh, poker.
I came back home and I was gambling against my dad, which is actually funny. I lost a couple $100,000 and I was tilted. So then what I did was I studied blackjack and I drove to Verona, which is in San Diego, which you only had to be 18 plus to play. And I started counting cards there. And I brought like 50K with me. And I was up like 200,000. I was getting unlimited comps. I was calling my boys. I was like, "Yo, come through." Like I got the suite. I got like unlimited food, caviar, all you can name it. They're bringing us to the golf course, massages, blah, blah. By the time they made the drive over, I was already banned from the from the casino for counting a blackjack. So it's not hard to beat blackjack. It probably takes about 4 hours of studying. And
that's it?
Yeah, it's super easy. But because they have the eye in the sky. Like
so they know if you're
instantly. If you go play, and I could go sit down at a casino, and within 10 minutes, if I'm actually counting and stuff, like someone will come and walk over and be like, "Hey, like you're not allowed to play here."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And do you do single deck, double deck?
Well, you double deck blackjack.
Double deck.
But I never do it because like my whole hustle is I'm trying to beat them for all the money, and so the best way to beat the casinos through sports.
Right.
So I beat a lot of these casinos for like millions of dollars, things like that. And I mean, you're never going to do that playing blackjack and
you'll be banned if you win 20K probably.
It's not about the number. It's just about the way you play and the strategy. You could actually be banned while being down. So, for instance, I've been banned from sportsbooks down money. So I've opened up an account before at Caesars, and I was down like 700,000.
Damn.
And on their mobile app, and then they completely limited me because they realized like sports is a lot about beating the lines and beating the market, similar to stock trading.
Yeah.
And so I'm always on the right side of the market. I'm beating the lines and things like that. And so they realized, hey, long term, we're not going to beat this guy.
Wow.
So
they probably have algorithms, right?
Yeah, 100%. So each sportsbook has a trader who works there, who's like a professional bettor. But the thing is like they're not elite. So any professional bettor that's working at the sportsbooks, they're making about $150,000 a year. Like, why would I ever go work for a sportsbook to run their office for $150,000 when I could make 8 figures a year betting for myself? Right. Yeah. So it's easy to fake them, and it's easy to like manipulate them, and they don't really know. They're not super elite. So it's just, yeah.
That makes sense. You do parlays?
Yeah, I do it all. I've done parlays. I've hit some massive ones.
What's the biggest bet you've hit?
So the biggest public bet, I say is like, so it's hard to, I would always bet massive, right? Publicly. The thing is there's nowhere to bet massive except Super Bowl time. So how the sports books in general work is that all they want to do is just balance out team A versus team B. So if they have $1 million bet on team A and they have $1 million bet on team B, they're going to just make $100,000 on the game because they charge 110 juice.
Oh, okay.
So what happens is during Super Bowl, their limits are massive because the whole public and the whole world is coming to bet on the games. So it's very easy to go to a casino and fire $1 million on the Super Bowl. So I've done that a few times. I had $1 million bet. A few times I've had a few winners. In the last 6 years, I've won 5 of 6 Super Bowls with my last year actually losing.
So that was your first time you lost?
The first time I've lost since I've been 21 years old on the Super Bowl was last year. I bet $1 million on San Fran. And people are like, "Oh, are you pissed you lost?" Blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, this is a numbers game. Like, for instance, I bet the San Fran -1. The line closed -1.5. So, like, I made my value, right? And that's all I care about is beating the number.
Right.
At the end of the day, I know I have proper bankroll, and long term, I'm going to win. I have some crazy stories around Super Bowl time, too, is like I one time entered a poker tournament for $50,000. It was a 2-day tournament. I ended up winning it for $640K. I tipped the dealer $2,000. Super Bowl was in 2 days. I walked straight to Caesars. I bet $638,000 on the Rams to win the Super Bowl, and I ended up winning.
Wow!
And
so you won $1 million?
Yeah, a little over $1 million, and I have a viral video on that went viral on the internet of me putting cash in a suitcase.
So you turned 50, and they gave you cash?
Yeah, it was very annoying too, because it's like the truth. I came with chips, and it's easy to have 25K chips. It's very discreet, and I was like, "Hey, can I get chips back?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Nah." I was like, "Okay, can I get a check?" And they're like, "No." I was like, "What? How am I supposed to get paid?" They go, "Cash." And I'm like, "Okay, can you take me to the back room?" And they're like, "We don't have a back room."
Holy
So
crap.
I had to literally take out over $1 million in cash in front of everyone. And now I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? I was like, do I hire security guards to like escort me with this cash? I don't know, because it's like obviously not really safe. And I obviously couldn't trust the security guard. So it's funny, as I brought my mom, I was like, "Mom, put a pistol in your purse and we'll just go just in case." And I brought a suitcase and just in front of everyone in the middle of the sports book, put $1 million in a suitcase.
Shout out to your mom, man. That's a real one.
There we go. Oh, she was ready.
Dude, yeah, people would have followed you out for that. For less, probably. I mean, $1 million? Jeez.
Yeah, 100%. But
that's crazy.
I wasn't too happy. They don't even have a back room for me to grab the money in from the sports book. Isn't that
I thought
insane?
they prefer like a check or like a wire.
Dude, they weren't doing checks, no
Digital
wires.
age.
The crypto, right?
Yeah,
Crypto's the
I
new
would have
wave.
taken crypto.
100%. Like, crypto's the best.
Yeah,
but
Bitcoin and Ethereum, baby.
that's the future right there.
Yeah, you got a lot?
I plead the fifth on that statement right there.
If the IRS is watching.
I'm paying my taxes. Don't worry, Uncle Sam.
Taxes must be rough because you got a capital gains on the sports betting, right?
It's 30%. So it is what it is.
That's
But,
not too bad, actually.
In general, the way I look at it is like, tax is an issue everyone should not worry about. It's like, just make money and everyone has to pay taxes.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. So you said you're doing 8 figures now, sports betting a year?
Yeah, profit. Yeah.
That is crazy, man.
Yeah, 100%.
What do you even buy at that point? You can buy whatever you want.
To be honest, I'm not a big spender.
Really?
Yeah, I like to invest, but and I kind of just like to use my money to make more money.
So no material cars or
Like I'm here, I have no jewelry and stuff here. I have cars and things like that, but I mean, I'm not like out there driving Bugattis and I don't own 5 Ferraris or things like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my daily is a Tesla.
I got a Tesla too.
Yeah, it's the nuts. It drives for you, right?
Yeah.
So you could. The other day, actually, my mom FaceTimed me. She was in an Uber car, and she was showing me that there was no one driving the car, and I was like, "This is what I need. Like, I can just be driven completely and work. Like, because I like to work, so I'm betting a bunch and things like that. And if I ever drive, it's like time is money. And so if someone's able to, these cars nowadays can just drive for you, which is incredible.
It's pretty nuts. I haven't tried it on like residential streets, but on the highway, I turn on the auto drive.
You scared or something?
I don't know if it could turn. Can it?
No, it doesn't. Well, it can, but basically in Nevada, it's not allowed to do it.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it definitely can turn. It can do everything. Like your car can summon to you in the inside in the grocery stores and things like that. Yeah, you didn't know
You've done
about
that?
Yeah,
I've seen it. I've just never.
Yeah. You have the new one or no?
I got the Model 3 2021.
Oh, so I don't know if the thing is though with the Teslas, I think that they're automated to where like the old ones get programmed because it's like a system kind of thing where it could learn it. I have the new X. So
I thought you were going to say Cybertruck. I would have been like, let me see right now.
No, so I actually put on my deposit for the Cybertruck, but then Elon loves to
Took 3 years.
yeah, and then also loves to tweet negative things about the crypto space. So I'm just like, you know what, man, I'm on strike over here now.
Yeah.
But
You be dropping those prices. The Y is 30K now, dude. I spent 70 on my 3.
dude, I spent like 140 on my X, and I think it's like,
They're probably like 80 now.
yeah, it is what it is, buddy.
Yeah, he just keeps dropping it, man.
Yeah,
Cars, not the best investment.
yeah.
I'll stick with crypto and sports gambling, I guess.
There we go.
Do you sell your picks and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. So another thing is like, it's basically, I decided, someone came to me and was like, hey, like, your picks are very valuable and people want them. Like, why not offer a place that you could help others make money as well? So basically that's what I've been doing. And a lot of people have been crushing. For instance, my baseball plays so far this month that I've been releasing to people, they're up 30 units. So if someone's betting $1,000 a game, they're up $30,000. Everything's documented. I have like best bets. I have UFC things. I basically give my place to everyone. And what I do is, the reason why you could see that they're actually going to win long term is because over 90% of my bets, the line closes in my favor. And what that means is like the same as my NFL bet that I lost $1 million on. Is I bet it at -1. The game started at -1.5. So if you beat the market by half a point, that's worth 8 cents.
Yeah.
And every 8 cents is worth 4%. And how you calculate that is 2 cents is you divide it by, divide 2 cents by 2 and you come up with a 1% edge.
Wow.
So, yeah, so it's basically like people long term, like I'm showing you like the actual math and coaching everyone through everything and helping people out and showing you guys, this is how you're going to win long term. So I've met up with some celebrities and people like that as well and helped them make a bunch.
Yeah. So you gamble with Bryce Hall?
Yeah, Bryce Hall's up a few $100,000. He's loving it. Richard Kidd's up over $2.5 million.
Damn.
I met up with Offset. He's up over a few $1 million.
Crazy.
Like a lot of these people are like loving it, and it's just yeah, I'm happy to help others make money as well, because the truth is like there's so many bookies out there.
Yeah.
And my goal is to help everyone crack every bookie. And
the bookie killer. A lot of people call themselves a bookie killer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, you see these Instagram posts. They'll post like 173 and 0. I'm like, what the?
Well, okay, so that's impossible. Obviously,
Yeah.
It's not a thing. Like some of the best bettors in the world have like a 6% ROI, which is like a return on investment, and that's
6%,
practical.
like
But
edge.
Yeah, 6% edge per bet. For instance, like real estate, you're very happy if you make 8% a year in real estate.
Right.
With sports betting, you can make 6%, but it's not per year; it's per bet.
Right.
And you can make numerous bets per day, and you could just get real rich real fast with
So
a
the
6%
compound.
edge. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you just have to have proper bankroll management, and that's what I preach. And don't tell everyone, hey, don't go all in. Like, never bet too much. Don't tilt bet. Don't chase losses.
Right.
Things like that. And so I sit there and I help coach people and help people make money.
That's cool.
And
Are you
yeah.
betting daily?
Oh, I bet basically every single sport possible. Every single day, yeah. I have a whole
crazy.
team of handicappers and stuff that I pay millions of dollars to work under me and things like that, and originate lines. And
Wow.
yeah.
So you're very analytical. It's all numbers for you. It's not even the
100
sport.
Oh, 100%. We don't even watch the games.
Wow.
Yeah. So basically, how it works is we have algorithms that know everything about everything. Like the algorithms are so sophisticated. Like for instance, with baseball, we know like the positioning of the sun at certain times.
Holy
so
crap.
if it's going to be over the plate and whatnot, like obviously batters aren't going to be able to bat as good. So we'll bet unders and things like that, depending on some positions.
That's
so
crazy.
we have everything analyticalized, and every single pitch in every sport, every single, like for instance in UFC, every single punch that's ever been thrown, like just it's so complex, obviously. And what happens is I originate my own plays. So we usually ask algorithms, and basically the algorithm will come up with a score. For instance, like it'll be a basketball game, and say the Lakers are playing the Heat. It'll be like, okay, the final score is going to be Lakers 110, Heat 106,
Yeah.
right? So it's like the total is going to be at 214. The Lakers are going to be a 6-point favorite. So if I know the Lakers are a 6-point favorite, now what I do is I go anywhere where I can bet, and I look if I could find anything where the Lakers have to give up less than 6 points or the Heat are getting more than 6 points, I'll bet it. So there's no such thing of, oh, I have a winner side, I have this. It's just, you just keep trying to beat the numbers, and long term, you're going to make some money.
Yeah, super logical.
Yeah.
Only thing it probably can't factor in is injuries.
So exactly. So injury news and things like that. So even like releasing plays in the morning, like there's people out there that like try to say, oh, I'm betting and I'm releasing my stuff early in the morning. The truth is, like, how can it be profitable if you don't know who's playing or not in the games?
Right.
So like, because I don't release my plays till later on in the day. And then people are like, yo, why aren't your plays released? And I was like, dude, I have to wait for the injury news to come out in order to know like who to bet on.
Right.
So if, for instance, like the Lakers a lot during the regular season, they sit LeBron or they sit Anthony Davis, like how can I make a profitable bet on that game until I know if LeBron or Anthony Davis is playing or not in the
Right.
game? So yeah, it's just like there's a lot of, basically me in gambling is like I'm by no means a degenerate. I'm not someone that's going to go sit there and want to play baccarat or roulette or any of those things.
Yeah.
Unless actually it's for me to hustle the casino in order to get the big accounts in
I
the
love it.
sportsbook. But yeah, I'm super analytical. I was like a math genius when I was younger, like perfect ACT score.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, all those things. And yeah, gambling is just something I loved.
That's
and
cool.
so I pursued it. Yeah.
Who you got winning the NBA finals this year?
I guess by Sean Perry's picks, and we'll find out who it is, right? But there's a lot of good teams this year.
Yeah, it's tough to say this year. I think,
Yeah, there's a lot of good teams.
I think Denver, though.
You like Denver?
I'm
I
a
mean,
Lakers fan,
dude,
but
Jokic is so unreal.
Yeah.
He's so unreal. It's
Too good,
insane.
dude.
Yeah. I mean, the Celtics are also a really good team, but I mean, I would definitely go if I was to bet like one team. I'd probably like if I could just put even money, like and like put a gun in my head, I'd definitely bet on the Nuggets. But a lot of
Yeah.
it has to do with the line that you get, right?
Right.
So yeah,
How'd you do on March Madness last month?
I absolutely crushed.
Yeah?
It was a good time. Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the hardest things to predict.
No, so actually college, I actually predicted UConn. I posted on my
Really?
Instagram. I was like, hey, like I did giveaway on some of my social media site. I give away a lot of money, things like that. So I did a bracket challenge where I give away $5,000. It's just people who ever built the best bracket. And then I also said, hey, like if you leave a comment right now, pick the winning team. you get an extra money. And I told him I think UConn. I have UConn winning it all, and UConn was in the finals. And of course, I stuck with my word. I even went and bet more money on UConn, and which they covered that last game, and I predicted my future bet, which came correct.
Wow.
But like, so college sports and smaller market sports are sports that you have the biggest edge in. So like UFC is like something that you can absolutely crush because it's like the markets aren't that big. So the lines makers and stuff don't pay as much attention to it because they're paying more attention to sports like NFL, where there's a lot of volume, or NBA or things like that.
Interesting.
So in college sports and small market games, like the edges are way bigger.
Yeah.
And so it's way easier to beat. Yeah.
That makes sense. Did you bet on the Ryan Garcia fight?
Yeah. So it's crazy. I had just like honestly both sides. I was just like, I basically bet, I don't know how to say it. Like I basically just like market manipulate numbers and things like that. So like whenever good numbers were popping up, I would arbit and stuff. But it's hard to get down like a lot of money on that fight. For instance, boxing is not like a sport where you can bet a bunch on.
Somehow Ryan bet $2 million on him. I don't know if that's true. I saw that on social media.
I mean, I hope he did, but I've actually I know some of the poker games. Ryan's plays poker as well.
He made a deep run in the main event last year.
Oh, sick!
He made
really?
it to day 7. I saw.
Oh, wow,
I didn't even know he played like that.
Yeah, I've been in some games where like he plays out in LA.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to say any details about the games and stuff, but in the private game scene and things like that. But I know the fight that he lost, like his one before this last one. I had him, and
the dehydration, dude. I mean,
yeah,
he didn't look the same.
I was surprised he won. He's been going off the internet, right? Like
he said it was all planned.
You know what? I believe it. Like fake it till you make the internet kind of thing, right?
Yeah, crazy, dude. What you got coming on, man? What you got coming up next?
So right now is the playoffs basically, and I love basketball. So I've just been firing basketball pretty hard, like you said, and just taking it one day at a time and just gambling every single day, enjoying life.
Where can people find your picks and your site and everything?
So you go right to my Instagram, Sean Perry Wins on Instagram, and the link's in the bio, and it's that simple. All you do is like sign up. I have a free Telegram, so you can get all my plays absolutely for free. And I give a play in that every single day, and I sit there and help you guys and teach people how to bet and show you guys exactly what to do. So I kind of do all the work for you. All you do is have to find an account to bet at, and you just go bet.
Hell yeah, dude. Sounds good. We'll link it below. Thanks for coming on, dude. That was fun.
We'll have to go off.
Yes, sir. We'll hoop soon. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Thank you.